And we are live. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. I'm Pastor Mustard. It is another Monday. What is today? Is what? Good Lord. What is today? Today is the 10th. Holy crap! Today is the 10th. Hello? Are you there, sir?
I'm trying to figure out which one of us sounds more retarded at this point. Since I can't hear my voice, I'll go with me.
I'm stuck in a kind of a false German. I am talking like a geek, and I don't know why. I'm like a puppet. Like, what to say? This weather and at least I have not broken out into the actual German, which then I will piss off the entire German audience we have. Beyond that...
Yeah, all two of them.
No, we are actually up to 4. We have 4 German listeners. Guten Morgen, Wiedersehen, and good night. Anywho, as I actually try to break out of this nonsense that is that I don't know why I've been running in that German accent for half an hour now.
I don't know either, but I want to smack you across the head. I'm just too far.
And you, don't you go starting with that smacking crap.
The only reason I did a bullshit German accent was because that was the part I got cast in. Thanks to you, might I add.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you can blame me.
Who was the
I guess you can blame me for that.
You needed company and didn't bother to tell me that wasn't allowed. You needed suckers to come down and audition. You should have just said that. I probably still would have come, to be honest. I had nothing to do.
Yeah, you complain about it, then you're like, well, the other hand. Yeah, I see how this goes. You see the kind of treatment I get every week from this man?
Oh, every week, the only reason you get it every week is because you never talk for the other 6 days.
I try.
You're full of it. I'm on probably about 10 hours a day.
And I am not.
Day, and if I get 5 messages from you, that's a good week.
And I spend most of my days asleep because I'm up all night doing crap. You are not in the fault. You are not in the same time zone as I, and that causes a conflict of time. And I'm starting to slip into the German accent again, and I don't know why.
Because you're getting flustered, most likely.
I started talking fast, and I started studying German. Anywho, anyone who's actually tuning in and listening, today we are Finite Exposure. Hopefully I have my equipment set up right, and it is coming through halfway decently, and not completely schmeg.
Schmeg? The hell kind of word is that?
That is a combination of German and the British word from Redorf to smeg. It is schmegged.
Okay. At least somebody knows.
At least it's not directly out of schmegma, and then they get into weird things, and then so on and so forth, and taddy ho. And anywho, yeah, you can tell how my day's gone.
I need to break up my tablet here and start killing off humanity again.
That is... You were addicted to Plague Inc.
I actually did it last night. I won Plague Inc. last night. I killed off the entire world.
Did you buy a tablet just to play Plague Inc.?
Well, not like you wouldn't do it.
Well, I can't deny it.
Times have we said that we've gone out that we'd go out and buy consoles just to play a game?
I think the last time we said that was Lollipop Chainsaw.
Yes, actually, that probably was true.
Actually,
I got it because I've been wanting one for a while, and they actually had it for $100.
What type of tablet is it anyway?
Polaroid 703C. It's the only problem I have with it is it doesn't have the Google Play Store.
Am I the only one sitting here who's going, Polaroid makes a tablet?
Actually, no. I've gotten that. I found out they did that because Kohl's had the 702C for sale a couple of days before this one. This one I had seen over Robco, but because it comes with a keyboard, it's got a little mini USB keyboard tacked on to the cover it has. It's 703CKB, and that's how I was trying to look it up. I couldn't find any anything really on it. But once I went to 703C, it was like, oh yeah, this is a decent tablet. It sounds like they do a pretty good job.
And again, I'll say, I did not know that Polaroid made a tablet. That shocks and awes me. I mean...
Yeah, it's a little 7-inch tablet. It's about the size of like a GPS device.
Oh, so it's less tablet, more PDA.
Kind of. Most tablets that are Android are 7-inch.
Yeah. There's a throwback to the good old days.
Huh.
Mentioning PDA.
Oh, Jesus, don't call that the good old days. That wasn't even a decade ago.
Okay. Well, for technology...
Good old days unless it's 20 years old.
Actually, tablet PDAs are about 20 years old. They can't... The first ones came out in, what, 92, 93? So yeah, it's been about 20 years now. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not that much older than them, for crap's sake. I mean...
the only thing I don't like about it is I don't have Google Play, so I can't purchase Big Ink, because that's the only way you can buy it.
There was another way, I think, but I can't remember what it was off the top of my head.
iPhone. You can get it off of iTunes.
No, there was some website they had it host on. It's like a legitimate website. You can buy apps off of. That's good for just about any tablet, iOS.
Well,
Google,
if you can
like
find it, let me know, because I did find a couple of places that downloaded it.
Yeah,
Slip Me, I think, or something like that, is a site that has it. But the problem is, everything they host it, but the purchase is still wired through Google Play.
Yeah, you still have to.
So
yeah,
I'd love to have them. Look, this thing can't cost much more than $3. That's why I paid for it on iTunes.
Yeah.
It's like, just put it up for $3. If you want to try the free one, that's fine. If you want to purchase it, that's fine. How many? They can't exactly say that doesn't work. How many games have demos nowadays? That's all the free one would be at that point.
Exactly.
It's a fully functioning demo.
Well, yeah, and that that's what I was going to bring. Is the demo for the game is basically the full game, but you just don't get certain viral paths, and you don't get certain nifty little things.
It sounds like you unlock them as you go.
Well, yeah.
Now, I haven't checked. I should. Maybe I'll check it while we're on break. I did win the casual setting with bacteria last night, so I'm wondering if you have to win casual, normal, and brutal to unlock the next one, or if you unlock it, like since I won for bacteria and casual, if now the next one will open up in casual.
There's got to be a strategy guide out there somewhere on the internet. You can find that out quite easily. I mean, that's what I do.
I'd be interested. I did get the zombie achievement, by the way, last night. It's
zombie.
Brains.
It's,
if you watch Lore play it, he got this combo. It's the Walking Dead symptom.
Now,
necrosis and something else. You have to have them at the same time, and I did. So I've got like 3 achievements on there already.
Now, for those who have no idea who we're actually talking about, go to, what is it? He's hosting Just the Tip on his Devo Lore YouTube page.
It's on Devomorph, because this was before he got the name. It's Just the Tip of Plague Inc.
Yeah.
It's like 35 minutes, but it's actually kind of a fun. It's better than what I could recommend. I'd recommend, and I'm sure we'll be talking about games of the year in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Little Inferno.
Yeah.
My God, I actually set a playlist of Mike B playing Little Inferno. It's like 3 hours long, and I watched that thing straight through. It's so much fun. That has got to be one of the most twisted things I have ever seen. But it's very well written.
Yeah.
It's $15 before the end of the year. I may end up buying it.
Well, yeah. And you gotta love things like that sometimes. Plague Inc. is
the combo is all it is. It's a combo game.
Yeah. Plague Inc. is based off of oh crap, I forgot what it's called now. That free version we were playing. What the hell was it called?
Pandemic.
Pandemic, yes.
I can't. Pandemic is actually a little bit better.
In some ways, and in other ways, it's not.
Yeah, the one thing I don't like about Pandemic is it is so much harder to really see what's going on.
Yeah.
In Plague Inc., it's a full map, and as you can see the little tendrils of red creeping across country, you can see it infecting.
Isn't there like little cities
you can look at the numbers for the countries or the world, so you can see what's going on. Pandemic, it's bad.
It phases from like green to red, and that's per country. But there's no like you don't green, get like a statistics breakdown.
Like maroon and then red.
Back in a second.
Oh, okay. I don't know what suddenly did that. As I sit here scratching my back and whatnot because it's so dry in here. I've got horrible problems with dry skin. I'm itching constantly. Except at work. I can't itch at work. Thank God. It actually is fairly humid there, though. So it's not so much of a problem. Wonder what happened this time. And here we play the awkward silence game because we have no clue where he was going with all this, and I have no clue what took him away from the computer in the first place. This is kind of why I wish I were still producing. Because it's like, well, now if I need to do something, I can do it. But it's like, how long is he going to be like this? That's the $1 million question. How long will chaos be gone from the mic this time? Anyway, since we're talking about Plague Inc., I might as well go on with it. Basically, and for those of you who are on PC who don't have a tablet or a smartphone or whatnot, there was a saying on their website at first that this would be strictly a tablet smartphone game, but with the recent, I think it's 1.09, with the recent release, they have said not one of the current goals, but one of their future goals is to have a PC port of Plague Inc., which I think would be amazing. I mean, the most you'd probably spend on it would be $10. Let me tell you, at this, there are 7 different... Well, fuck, I'll look up Plague Inc. It's by a group called Endemic Creations. Let's see. Let us get a rundown here of whatever. The trailer is actually kind of creepy. Latest news. Posted November 30th. Newest update, Mutation 5, which will probably be 1.10. A zombie plague type. God damn, why isn't he on the air? Zombie plague type with radically different gameplay, graphics, etc. New achievements, events, genes. That's interesting. Lots of smaller improvements and tweaks. Localization in Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, and French. Future plans. Bring Plague Inc. to the Amazon App Store. Thank God! Why can't they do that now? That way I could actually buy it. Translate Plague Inc. into languages. Work on Mutation 6. Bring Plague Inc. to Mac, PC, console, and Windows Phone. And make a better website. Actually, I kind of like their website. Dang it. Let's see.
And I return. That was my lure.
I'm starting to... I just mentioned something that would have you going a whole new tangent.
Oh?
Mutation 5 for Plague Inc. It's 1.09 right now. I'm assuming this is 1.0. the top thing that's coming, a zombie plague.
It's what?
A zombie plague.
The zombie plague. Oh,
they are going to do... What was it? There was a game that... was it Lore?
Oh.
Yeah, Lore was playing
I don't know.
a game, and and Mike B's run into this too, where they make kind of a fourth wall joke that no game is complete without zombies now.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, that seems to be kind of the
different
thing.
Gameplay, graphics, etc. So it sounds like instead of being a virus, zombies, instead of mutating and adapting a virus, you're going to be controlling a zombie horde going through the world. That'd be kind of trippy with the way play game works.
I don't know, yeah. And,
they are hoping to put it in the Amazon App Store, which I can get, kind of. That thing's kind of flaky.
Yeah, the Amazon App Store seems to have one of those massive connection issues. But,
for me, all it is the past few days is just a search bar.
Yeah.
It used to come up with all the categories and stuff, but it hasn't for the past few days.
You may have to go in and
uninstall it and reinstall it.
Yeah, you may have to go in and alter something or something like that. But games like Plague Inc. are, they aren't big games, which is weird. Well, okay, Plague Inc. has kind of become a bit of a big game. It's what was it? It got nominated for Best Mobile App of the Year or something like that. I don't know. Besides Angry Birds again, freaking Angry Birds. Oh, I'm so tired of that game.
Well, article I'm looking at now. I know it was like $2 or $2.99 on Apple. According to this, it's 9 cents. So that must be for Google. So for $1, maybe $3, you can play this game, and it's got 24 different ways you can play it now. The zombie will be 27.
That's quite.
Or is it 21 and 24? Still.
Yeah. Well, and you can mix and match your mutations and. You can mix and match your mutations, and you can do all sorts of weird crap. Like, you can have, like, a very slow-moving virus that does nothing initially. Which, actually, I think is, like, the preferred way to play the game, is you infect the entire world by having it doing nothing, and then you crank it up to kill everyone.
Yes, that's how I won last night. I figured out what Lore did wrong in his play, because I did it wrong a couple of times, too. What he was doing was, before the cure started, he was researching he is researching drug resistance.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is, if you do that before, then it's there. So they just steamroll over it, because that's how it is when they start going.
Yeah.
The only thing I've done is I will start it, because it gives you a little thing saying, might be a good idea to do this, can infect the more rich countries easier.
Yeah.
But after that, I didn't start. I just kept saving, and it's just like a pandemic. You get DNA points.
Yeah.
By the time they were working on a cure, I had like 150 DNA.
Oh, good lord. So, yeah.
I just went ding, 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 and bam.
Slowed that cure down to a, crawl.
I think when I killed them all, they were only at 51%.
That's pretty good. That is rather quite good. I'm sure there's an achievement system out there.
I will give people, and it doesn't work so much in Pandemic, but that's because of how different the games are.
Yeah.
But if you want, one hint I will give you for Plague Inc. is the only thing for abilities you really need to worry about, and this is why bacteria is so good, because bacteria has bacterial shell, which allows it to adapt to hot or cold climate.
Yeah.
You don't need to do hot or cold, you just do bacteria. So that you can spread and you trigger disease or drug resistance so you can get a foothold in. Then when they start working on the cure, you either wait for points or you dump points and just max the hell out of drug resistance.
Yeah.
And then wait, because the one you're going to want to spend something on it so you can start killing people. So once everybody's infected.
Hang on. I got to. That is like one point I've got to point out is Plague Inc. and Pandemic and what was it? Zombie Plague or something like that. Another. Infectinator. Infectinator.
Huh?
Infectinator. That's the game I'm thinking about.
I hate that game.
That is a fun little free flash game on like Congregate and Congregate with a K .com and a few other places that basically you sit there and you control a zombie virus a la the World War Z and Max Brooks's Zombie Survival Guide, because it starts in Cape Town. Yeah, if you read the books and you just infect the world from there, and that's a fun little thing. You can boost up your zombies, and you get special zombies and crap like that. That's a fun little game too. But games like that, you have to sit back. You kind of have to sit there and go, I am killing all of humanity. I am a sick, twisted person. And I admit, I was sick.
You're only twisted if you're like me and you actually get happier as you do better.
Well, I think that's the whole point of the game, is you get happier when you do better in the game. And there's my German accent again. I don't know why I'm doing it.
Just trying to psychoanalyze me.
Yes.
That's a losing proposition, by the way.
Tell me about your mother. No, yeah, so honestly, games like that, you do have to kind of sit there and go, I am killing the entirety of the human race. I am a sick, twisted individual. Kill them more!
It's even better because when they're wiped out, the game tells you that they're hiding and scurrying into caves and living it out. I'm like, oh well, this will be easier.
Yeah.
Go ahead, separate yourselves more.
Yeah.
The further away you are, the less research you're doing. Hey, this works good for me. So.
Now, I have to ask, is Greenland still a problem for getting infected?
I figured out the trick to that.
Oh.
What you do is in Plague Inc. is you... And this is how it should work in Pandemic, but it doesn't. When you infect the water...
Yeah.
That also infects ship travel.
Ah, interesting.
The only port that Greenland has is a ship port, so you want to map out water.
Yeah.
Because that's really the only way to get there.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about anything else. I think when I won, I think the only thing I had done was air and water. I think those were the only two forms of transmission I had.
And that's the...
But what's cool is if you evolve air and water twice, it's like a super aerosol. It's an amalgamation of both.
Nice.
That you can do for a fifth one.
Crop dusting.
Basically, yeah. These are the bullshit, the chemtrails.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, I found something here that'll give you an idea of what kind of people are playing this.
Uh-oh.
The top 10 names.
Oh dear.
Or disease names. Can you try and take a guess?
Well, I'm gonna have to roll the dice, and one of them I'm gonna guess is probably Captain Trips.
No.
Really?
Okay.
One of them is not named Captain Trips.
Get out of the geeks and think like the normal Joe.
Dude, I can't do that. I'm not...
Oh, come on. There are 3 of them right... Actually, 4 of them right now, that if you think about it. And one of them is a geek one, so you should have thought about this at least.
What?
You talk about it all the time.
Selenium? What? I don't...
No. We're talking about a plague.
That is a plague. That is the zombie plague in the Max Brooks books. Max Brooks books.
Yeah, well, these people are living it. They're not playing it.
Well, yeah.
That become one in 1.10 when the zombie plague actually takes effect. Come on.
I
The
don't know,
top
man.
two, if you can't get the top two, something is wrong with you.
Dude, I don't know what's... do I look like I'm playing the game? Do I look like I have the list? No. I do not know the average Joe most of the time. The average Joe looks at me like,
Okay.
what kind of weird
Now,
creature is he?
Okay, I'm going to go into second grader mode.
Oh,
What is the game about?
Play. Don't tell me like bird flu.
More simplistic than that. What is the goal of the game?
Wiping out humanity. Don't tell me like one of them
Now,
called Armageddon.
Think about that. What would you... Be stupidly simplistic. And you can get at least the first... Not the first four.
I don't think I can dumb myself down that far. I really don't.
Yes, kid, come on.
I can make dick and fart
took
jokes.
one of them home with you when the closed, for Christ's sake.
What? Grim Reaper? The skull?
Yeah. Death.
Oh, Death. Death
Is
Plague.
come on.
Really? Death Plague? That is so... No.
Yeah.
Sweet mother.
Hey, you want... Well, I named mine Smiley Face. Because on the Android, it's used so much that they made Smiley Face a key.
Smite. Oh, okay.
And I accidentally pushed it one time
See,
when I was naming things. So the second one, which anybody, probably most screaming at their radios, is AIDS. The biggest virus known.
Oh. See, I can't think...
And the third one, you sir fail. The T virus.
Okay, yeah, I should have seen that one.
You should have. I was waiting for that.
But that one...
You rent that one just about once a month.
Yeah, generally because I'm taking a shot at the Resident Evil series.
Yeah. Then the Swag is one.
Swag.
Plague. There's some original.
Yeah.
X. X. That's
X.
actually kind of...
X. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't get that one at all. Stupidity is number 8, which means that this probably starts in the U.S. Love, which probably starts in... where would that one...
That one probably starts in the U.S. too.
Oh, actually, I was thinking of like the Sweden and stuff.
Oh, Sweden. Yes, Sweden.
And 10 is censored. So who knows what that one is?
Ooh, someone was naughty. They were good, but they were naughty. Naughty.
Other notables that made the top... Wish I could find the top 50. Zombie. I can see that. Reddit.
Is one named Google by any chance?
I'm sure it is somewhere. Religion is another one that I like.
Zombie, Google, religion.
YOLO. That's ironic. Obesity.
Oh.
And of course, penis. Yeah.
Well, the human condition is kind of infectious.
Your mom.
Okay.
And then it says that diseases named Obama and Romney in popularity in November for obvious reasons. God.
Oh. That's
Find this
beautiful.
list of top 50 now. Where's the top 50? I need to see more of these.
Oh god, that's beautiful and terrible.
They actually forum thread for this game?
But I will be I am amazed that Captain Trips and Selenium are not on the list.
Well, that's why I'm trying to find a bigger list. I'm sure it is somewhere.
Yeah, watch like the bottom
I
lane.
cannot find it. Okay. Plague Inc.
Let me tell you, if I had a tablet and I had Plague Inc., I would name it Selenium and or Captain Trips, and I would work on getting into that top 10 spot. Just like, it deserves to be here.
Other notable... I want to see that top 50 name thing.
Oh, Lord. He's looking for that. But yeah, so, it's not...
I want to see what other names made it.
But honestly, the game is addictively fun. I mean, yeah, you're wiping out humanity and all that fun stuff. But that's
the only problem I have is that it's a resource hog. So I can only play it when I freshly booted up my tablet. If I try to play it when things are running, it doesn't run well.
Oh, that sucks.
Well, it sucks, but it just means that I have to keep an eye on what I'm using. So.
But on the other hand, given the graphics and crap like that, I can kind of understand why.
Yeah, it's a very engine. Okay, I don't know the age of our audience, so this may be a little too much of a stretch for some people. Imagine Windows 95 and how much fun you had when you tried to play a resource-intensive game on that.
Oh, I had a lot of fun.
You could do it, but you really had to be careful.
Yeah.
Tablets, because they're newer, and they're still... I mean, this Android is a Linux thing.
Yeah.
Still because of how big they are. I mean, this one's only got like 512 RAM, and like 1 gigahertz speed or whatnot. So because they're newer, they aren't as progressive as computers. So now problems that all these little farts that were so pampered with the computers, now they get to see what we went through. Well, I went through with Windows 3.1, Windows 95, Windows 98, that kind of thing, because they're in that teething area of evolution. They are trying to run things that are, because of what computers are, they're written more resource heavy. And the authors don't realize these things really don't have that many resources.
Yeah,
so it's almost to the point you have to buy a tablet phone just to play certain things. They're like meant to be the only thing on this device. Unlike a computer, you can upgrade it. That's my only concern.
Yeah, well, and
way I can upgrade this thing.
Tablets.
I did put a SD card in there.
Well, tablets and smartphones, crap like that. They've kind of got right now they're the new hot thing. They're you can go anywhere, you can do anything, kind of thing. But I'm sitting there kind of like they're gonna hit that roadblock that consoles hit a few years back. You can't upgrade them. Games and various other things are gonna start getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and so on and so forth until they are outpacing your iPhones, your tablets, or whatever. And then you're gonna be back to the computer gaming again. But right now it's a hot little niche. It really is.
They'll probably end up what laptops did, because early laptops ran into this too. You couldn't. Yeah. They were sealed in such a way you had to take them to a dealer to get upgrades and whatnot. Now, as long as you know what you're doing, you can at least replace the RAM.
You can replace the RAM. You can put in a new hard drive.
Yeah,
you can actually.
You can't do a lot of the motherboard stuff like you can on a computer, but you can replace certain things.
If you're,
I would bet before long, probably within about 3 years, you'll see tablets that will have the thing on the back where you can upgrade the RAM. I don't think they can go any more than that.
See, if I remember right,
be able to upgrade the RAM or replace the RAM.
Yeah,
I think you can do, really.
Well, we may not see that for a while, because that's the difference between computers, laptops, smartphones, and tablets.
Well, that's what I said.
Tablets are that
3 years, but I'm also saying in 3 years that'll probably be the only change that comes.
Yeah.
And I can't honestly see any other change aside from the fact if everybody gets their head out of their rear, they'll realize that micro SD ports are amazing solutions. And this thing has a 4 gig hard drive.
Yeah.
For $15, I went and bought a 16.
Yeah.
So I quadrupled my size just by plugging something in, and it can go up to 32.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's really the only thing. I wonder if they work on a page system Windows used to, where it would pull on hard drives to accommodate for RAM,
Maybe.
the page file, because it still kind of does it, but it's not as much of a thing now. But page file system, I remember one time I had like a 1 gig page file,
Yeah.
and deleting that thing made my go amazingly fast.
Yeah. Well, and I agree that tablets may advance to the point where we'll see tiny like little RAM chips and crap like that.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. Maybe they'll make an SD version of a RAM chip.
Well, and that's actually not that hard. That's not much of a difference.
That'd actually be a smart idea.
Because all an SD card is basically an SSD drive, a tiny little SSD drive. So it wouldn't be that much. It wouldn't be that much of a jump to convert them to say, just to a random access memory, and convert them in that way.
Yeah. I would like to see that happen. That would okay.
Yeah. Well,
if they think about this, I could see that. I'd probably say 4 or 5 years if they went that route.
Yeah.
But I could easily see them doing that, and it wouldn't require much change to their product now.
No.
Because instead of having to have the little thing on the back like laptops do for the RAM,
Yeah.
you just put another SD slot on there.
Well, and
To be a special type of RAM, obviously, but I don't think cost all that much more.
Well, and
I can't see how it could.
Depending on how using as a relative comparison, how laptops, getting upgrades for them is it can be kind of pricey. I can foresee, once they start doing, you can do upgrades to your tablet, that it's going to be kind of pricey for a while, for a good long while.
Yeah, but every new thing is.
Yeah. And
the thing is, if they're going to be, they'd want to be pushing that to the layman. The layman will only put up with that price for so long, and then if they want to make it work, they will have to drop the price.
You would be amazed at what the layman will take. Okay, RAM chips.
Well, at first, but the thing is companies are always competing with each other. If somebody says, "Oh, well, you can go out and you can do this, but only support this much RAM, and you can only do this certain RAM," well, then somebody will say, "Well, not only does ours hold twice as much RAM, we can run anything. We can run any different RAM." And that will make the price go lower. And then people will it's a self thing. It cannot be expensive for long.
Yeah.
Because people are always to sucker more people in.
Yeah.
So, and what's the way you do it? You say, we can do things better and cheaper than our competitor.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it will be very expensive at first. Look at how much tablets are now new.
Yeah.
If you want to get a Nook and Kindle aren't too bad.
No.
But Galaxy and and Apple
iPad, there we go. Yeah.
Are starting at $300-400.
Yeah.
Now, granted, Apple is mostly a 10-inch, so I can see that.
Well, yeah, they've got the bigger screen and all that fun crap. Yeah.
But a Galaxy Nexus 7, which Laura referred to me, starts $200.
Yeah.
For the exact same size, same RAM, I believe, same processor. It's just that you're buying it through Google.
Yeah.
It's Google's tablet.
You're trading one evil corporation for another evil corporation.
Yeah, it's like I said, that's Freud's doing what I said people would do. It's like, oh, well, you want everything they have? You can't have their app store, although Polaroid has 5 of them.
Yeah.
But
here
you go. You can get all your apps. You can put all your apps, and really good. You can put Google Play on there. Haven't figured that out yet.
But
we're $100 cheaper, and you get a keyboard.
Yeah, well, yeah, that is one thing I will say is like the downfall of tablets. Is the touch screen is really honestly the downfall of tablets. But on the other hand, it makes ease of access, so easy in one.
Yeah, I wish. This is the other thing I wish that they did. You've got the mini USB port,
Yeah.
or the micro USB port for the charger and for the thing. I would have 2 ports on there. One for charger,
One for
keyboard, and then if you could get like a mini mouse, which I have seen, they do make them with those ports. So you could plug a keyboard and a mouse in, and then when you're charging it, of course, you just unplug one and plug it in. But I do not. I really don't like touch screen. It's going to take me a while to get used to that.
Well, I think part of the problem with a lot of people have with touchscreen is the fact that it's so flimsy. It really is just so flimsy. It would take like one too hard of a jab. You're just like pissed off one day and you jab it too hard and you're done. And that is one of the kind of downfalls of touchscreens, right? Tablets. Well, but
you get finger marks all over it. Within a day, I could see. Just trying to set stuff up. You have to tap it a lot to get stuff set up.
But they do.
At least once a day, I could, if not more, if I use it more. I could take a rag to that thing, like a lens wipe.
Yeah.
I could take that to it once, maybe twice a day.
Yeah, well, and that is why they do sell protective screens.
I've tried to. The problem is if you don't get that seal just right,
you'll have like an air bubble.
Peel very quick.
Yeah.
And once it starts that, then you have to replace it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and see that's why I always cut just a tiny bit smaller than the screen, just like a hair smaller, and then I'll lay it over top, and I'll do it just from the bottom, and I'll just move my hand up across, and boom, done.
One other thing that would be really neat, and you've seen these in Hot Topic and whatnot. They're like a ring, but they have a point. They're jewelry of some kind. If they could make a plastic one, so you put it on the end and then just tap it with that.
Oh, you're talking like a stylus kind of thing,
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah.
They have these pens, but I mean, not a pen, just a little cover or a little thing you put on the end of your finger that has a point, so that you could very delicately. I mean, you still have to clean the screen every now and then, but that way. You wouldn't mess it up as much as often because the stylus point is like.
I have a simple solution for you. I have the perfect simple solution. Those cheap, cheesy kind of slip over top of your finger, like witch and demon finger things. Real cheap plastic, real kind of kiddie thing. But they have that giant nail on them. Boom, there you go. There's your answer.
Yeah, that's something similar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that would
if they could make little plastic ones of that would probably do a lot of tablets.
Oh yeah, it may, or at least like little, just like the tip of your finger, little kind of like condom things, just like doo. There's a fun image that's not going to get out of your brain anytime soon. Finger condom, doo. But no.
Not onto this stuff.
But no. Getting back a little bit to like the upgrades and crap like that. I'll agree. It's probably going to be a couple years. And what I see them first doing is, I can see them first making, you can increase like the RAM and maybe interchanging out the internal drive space. Kind of going the way of like a laptop. You can change out the RAM and the internal hard drive space. Plus, you've got the SSD on top of it. You've got your portable hard drive, quote unquote. And then I figure in about 10 years we'll see them where you can actually like change out the processor. Maybe. That is a very conservative figure. Very conservative. But I can see it happening. And then what they'll have exactly done right there is they will have put tablets directly in competition with laptops. Because phones, they will not do crap like that. They will never do crap like that for a phone. All you'll ever be able to do with they'll be able to increase the space internally. You can sell phone calls. You can do this, but they will never allow you to do a hardware tweak like that. Tablets, I can see them doing because tablets not a phone. That's a whole different market.
Right.
But I can see them. I can see them eventually doing that and putting them directly in competition. Because what you'll have there is then you'll have laptops which can hold, which will always be able to hold bigger space and be able to do more crap. But a tablet will be kind of your laptop kind of thing, like the PDA, like the personal the PDAs from Star Trek. Because always in Star Trek you've got the main console, where you can do this and that. And then you've got your you've got your more portable consoles like your tricorders and crap like that. So you've got your main console, which is your desktop computer. You've got your tricorders, kind of like your laptop, and then you've got your PDA, which is like your tablet. And yes, they were called pads. My bad, PADDs.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and you've got your pads, which are basically your tablets. Right there, hey. And I can see how that's gonna go, and that's kind of what's gonna happen. Because have you noticed that we've kind of reached that point of technology where everything is now getting bigger again to compensate for all the miniaturized crap that's now going into everything.
Yeah, that is happening a lot more.
I noticed that. I was sitting there. I was looking at a couple of hang on. I had to get a drink. But I was looking at a couple of computers and crap like that, and I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at all the stuff they can do, and, motherboards and stuff like that. And I'm like, wow, these things have gotten freaking... Even the micro motherboards have gotten bigger than they were 4 years ago. Because I'm like, wow, they've got to cram more and more crap in there. So technology is now... It reached that... It kind of reached that maximum limit. That we're edging towards that event horizon of miniaturization before and we're already back into the expansion phase. Everything's getting bigger. Phones are getting bigger. Tablets are slowly getting bigger. iPods are getting bigger. Everything is getting bigger again. And what we'll see after that is again another kind of miniaturization race. But by then, technology will have jumped drastically again. So I figure in about 20 years, the expansion will be done again. Well, it may not even be 20 years, but the expansion of technology, and then we'll see it go right back into miniaturization, getting smaller and tinier and smaller and tinier and smaller and tinier and so on and so forth, until finally, it's kind of like, until you kind of see the Futurama cell phone that's, the size of a dime. You hold it to your ear, but it's got the, giant brick of a charger.
Yeah.
But I will say this, you know what, no matter how good technology gets, cell phones will only have 2 hours of talk time. No matter how good technology gets, that will be the limit for cell phones.
For battery?
Yeah, for just straight out talking to someone, you only have that 2 hour battery life. That is all it will ever be.
I actually don't get too bad of a time on my phone, so.
But within that 2 hour marker, huh? If you're just
well,
straight talking.
It's about 3.
Oh wow, that's pretty good.
But see, I don't have the big 1,800 billion apps while you're talking and.
True. Very true.
This I've just got a very big. I've got a QWERTY phone. I've got a phone with the keyboard. That's it. So.
And I love
I've
those
got
phones.
more power to actually run the phone and not everything else.
Yeah.
Should probably go to break now anyway.
And we're back. Anyway,
damn, that almost got awkward, didn't it?
Almost. It almost got a little weird. Almost. Just a skosh. Just a tiny bit. Just a wee insignificant. Okay, now my English is back online. Is my English ever online? Is it?
No.
No, I don't think it is. Anyways, if you're just tuning in, you just missed the first hour of Finite Exposure. We are now into hour number 2, after our nice, lovely 25-minute break. A little bit longer than I would have preferred, but hey, you know what? It gave me enough time to get a cup of tea. It gave him enough time to get a cup of cocoa. Gave me enough time to run the dog out. I'm happy with this. Shy. Anywho, now that we're back, and we're still insane, I'm sorry, you can't cure insanity, folks. No matter what
especially not ours.
No matter what the men in the nice white suits say, you can't cure insanity. You're just gonna have to deal with it.
Oh, I finally found the list of in Plague Inc.
Oh, nice.
Bacteria, bacteria, virus, fungus. I can't wait to try that one.
Fungus?
Parasite prion. I've heard of it. I don't know what it is.
Oh my god, hang on. Oh my god. The fungus is among us. You can take the mushroom kingdom. Okay, I'm better now.
Nanovirus. That sounds like fun.
Ooh, okay.
And bioweapon. And for 8 coming up is zombie plague.
Yeah, the zombie.
This game is awesome the more I read about it.
Yeah, well, now that we've got an in-show update for the thing we've already talked about, yay. But that is actually kind of cool. You're gonna have to dick around with the nano virus. That could be fun.
Well, according to what this says, you have to keep one to win at a plague. Yes, you must, regardless of mode, to beat it, and that sounds like how you unlock it. So,
okay.
hopefully by now, when I boot it up after this, I'll have a virus that I can play on. I like casual mode because, as it says, sick people are given hugs. So transmission is actually fairly easy. Of course, they still can be a real dick about curing it, though.
Not often do you hear someone happy about a virus. Anywho.
Oh, I was told down at coffee yesterday that I was rather maniacal. I'm like, yeah, you think?
You're a manacle? You're a manacle. So you chain people up to walls and no, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there.
Used to, but I can't get away with that here.
Anywho.
When you're on the 6th floor, it makes things a little hard to be conceal.
Yeah, just a little bit. So let's see here. We covered game. Well, a game. I think we're doing fantastic there. We covered some technology. I think it's time we moved into, well, Nancy, I think it's time to go into, movies. What do you say? Yes, that is my, George Bush Sr.,
and not for the first time I'm being confused for a woman, so go right ahead. It happens all the time online for me. I don't get it.
I wonder why. Could be
I wonder why too, damn it.
It could be the, spider tar. It could be... You play a woman online, good sir. Do
Okay.
I need to go there?
Now, while I will give you that, I was being confused by a woman in AOL text, even with a masculine name, even with my own name and in the profile. People still thought I was a woman. Even Angela, who was working with me, swore up and down. Even the other hosts couldn't convince people of that.
If we could
Well,
hit
I've had this problem for like 16 years now.
If you see the look of my face has got this look of, oh my god. Yeah. Moving right along, because I don't want to think about that for too long, otherwise it's going to scar the hell out of my brain.
I'll try living with it for 16 years. That should answer a few questions about me.
Hey, you know what? For 12 years now, people thought I'm gay. Okay, let's not go there. Okay. Hell,
You
people.
can't see that at all.
I know. I just don't like penis. I don't. I'm sure there's some little lady listening and going, "Penis? What the? Did he say penis?"
Brains splatter all over the wall. It's a new type of wallpaper.
No. It should be. She runs into a septic truck full of waste that hits a Pokemon factory after sideswiping a bus full of nuns.
I'd sell for a bus full of cheerleaders.
Oh, okay, yeah. Anywho,
you get nicer things to look at.
Going to hell number 3. For the show alone. Anywho,
good. Your own number 3. My God.
No. For this show. For this show.
My job right.
For this show alone.
Oh, for this show, I was like, damn. I play a demon. This is not good on my resume.
Yeah, no, we don't actually want me to pull out my list of offenses for why I'm going to hell. We'll be here for like the next 4 days, just not.
Speaking
we'll be delirious by day 2, just like, oh my God, how many reiterations of the same crap can he do and go to hell for it? You would be amazed.
Speaking of our dual question sexuality here, I was listening to Pride 48. And they had on the guy who runs the channel, and they are looking for people to submit. It can be any length, little things about Christmas or the holidays or whatnot that they will play on the 23rd. So I was thinking we should do something. It can be any time length.
Oh Lord, love a duck.
We just have to get it to them by the 23rd. I'm like, Lord, you know what? We could have a lot of fun with this.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go back. Let's actually go with what we were gonna do first. First off, over the week,
is that we could doom a whole new channel.
Yeah. So, over the week, first off, we had pretty much extended teaser trailers left and right for Star Trek Into the Darkness. And
I saw one and it just didn't really make sense.
Well, you have to kind of look at the context of it. Given that I'm putting on my nerd glasses. Gotta push my nose right up. Well, given the fact that the movie is supposed to be based around the one episode with the dude who became a god when they reached the galactic barrier, well, the whole context of it really makes sense right there. However, I'm still kind of wondering what Spock's going to do when he gives him a Vulcan neck bench. Okay, now nerd glasses off. Yeah. Anywho.
See, but now here's one of the problems that they're going to have with this reboot. That makes sense to people like you who remember it. It's like, hey, this is a good step because this is still keeping in line with the lore of the series. What about schmucks like us who aren't a walking Trek encyclopedia?
Well, see,
it's just looking like, what?
See, that is the great thing about the new movies, is they at least explain enough that you kind of get the hint, and then they unravel the rest of it as it goes along. It's kind of like a self-opening pinata, kind of like Michelle Bachmann or Sarah Palin.
I cannot believe you brought those two bits up in our podcast. You should blog. I live with that twit. I don't want to think of her any more than I have to.
A friggity flog.
We're gonna flog you on the frigate.
Yeah. Get up here, Captain Boy. Yeah. Where is Richie? Richie
Damn
needs
it!
to be...
You know what? We should make that a sound clip. So if you want to, you can play that.
I'll probably actually have it done by the end of tonight. Because I was already working on some sound clips. I've got some beautiful ones to throw in there. They just weren't ready for today because I fell asleep at my desk at like 4 this morning. Woke up, had to rush out the door at 10 o'clock. Didn't even bother to shower when I left. I'm like, I gotta go. So I was just kind of like,
Where did you go?
Oh, I had to go into town and do crap. But and you know
that's what bathrooms are for.
No, not that kind of crap. You what?
Be specific. You know I'm an asshole. I will take you to task on that.
Well, I had to go into town. No one cares about my personal life. I live like a friggin' hermit as it is. The only reason why I go into town generally is to pay bills or to harass someone. That's the only reasons why I go into town. So my life is not that interesting. You have a more interesting life than I do. except for
Oh,
I have a sex
find that
life.
hard to believe.
I have a sex life. That's about the only thing more interesting. And I'm not going to talk about my sex life on the air because she will kill me.
Well, remember, if she does, you have to let me know so we can put it on pay-per-view.
Dun 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 dun.
That's creative is to eviscerate a person number 75.
Yeah. But anyways, so back to what we were supposed to be talking about. So Star Trek Into the Darkness popped up. And let me say this, as a Trek geek, I'm rather kind of intrigued by it. Well, because the first movie I found rather interesting. It's a nice retelling of the original premise, and then they took it off into a new course, which I like, as I'm sitting here watching the trailer again. Some stuff, if you're a Trek geek, you'll sit there and go, oh, hey, that's kind of cool, da-da-da-da. But, the way it seems to be set up is they are going to explain how it's gonna, how it's all gonna roll, because they're at least good enough. Though I did like the starship rising out of the ocean scene. That was kind of cool. Because we never actually saw much of the crap like that. It's like, it's a starship with a shield. Why don't we see them in the ocean that often? You got nothing, huh?
I have no... See, this is where tangents can be really hard.
Welcome to my world, yes. But yeah, it's one of those interesting, I've always wondered that. It's like, why don't they take them deep sea exploring? I mean, they can pick up whales, for God's sakes. Why can't they go deep sea exploring? You don't send a shuttlecraft down, you send the whole starship. It makes more sense.
Except, where would you land something like that?
The starship, you can... those things actually do have... landing gear on them. I know, amazing, they have landing gear. No one knew that except, like, the 4 Star Trek geeks out there. Of
which he is one.
Yeah. They do actually have landing gear. They just don't come out often because no one ever lands the ship. It crashes, it explodes, it gets eviscerated. You can eviscerate a ship. It gets defenestrated, which is real fun. It gets turned into a giant blob, and then it gets screwed with by Q. Those are things that happen. But on a regular basis, you don't see someone land it. So, I think, just as a general thing, they should take a ship underwater more often. I think it'd be genius.
Which is why it probably won't be done, but
I know.
He got it out of the system, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, I better. The trailer, the teaser trailer, the official trailer doesn't drop till like the next Monday. Oh, go ahead, next Monday. It's. I'm kind of excited for it. I'm also kind of excited for Pacific Rim, but that's me. Have you seen that one?
Pacific.
The viral video for Pacific Rim.
I don't think so.
Well, then let me indulge you for a minute, sir, and take you on a strange journey. Yes, I know, it was a terrible impersonation. Shut up. I at least can cop to my own crap. I know there's no problem. Shut up. But yeah, my English is going out the window. Anyways, no.
And this is him on a good day.
Actually, this is me on I'm kind of functional day, and I'm just not happy to be functional.
Who is?
Yeah. But yeah. So, the Star Trek Into the Darkness looks kind of fun and interesting, and I'll go see it because I'm a Star Trek nerd, and I have no qualms about seeing Star Trek crap. I mean, I've watched every single series, need I say more? I've even seen the second phase stuff, which a friend of ours was actually involved with the production of. God, you like him. But, yeah. I've gotta say, I'm kind of curious of where they're gonna go. I'm really curious of what. I think they are. They're gonna hash out that old script of, the dude, old friend of Kirk. He reemerges. He becomes a god-like being. Okay, a Q-like being. Same thing, different, definition. And
because they have said that the Q were in the first series, so
kind of, yeah.
It'd be a good way to, because Q can be there. John Delancey as Q can be there.
Oh, they gotta pull out his son at this. Well, actually, they could pull out the old Q. The traveling through the extra-dimensional rift and whatnot. It's aged him, so he just looks old. Kind of pulling a kind of a doctor thing. Drags the kid along, leaves the kid in that universe to screw with the Q there. That would be great. They
Actually,
need to do that.
It'd be neat for nerds like me who have read IQ.
Exactly.
To be M.
Yeah.
In that world.
And P.
Because they never do explain where M came from. Have it be the reverse, that the Q came and then the M came in the one, so have the M there and have Q come in.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a real that's a real funny that's a real fun thing to think about. Yeah. And that is something.
To us.
Yeah. To us, we're just like, do it. We're salivating. Just watch the line of drool come from our mouth. Hell, I'm pretty sure Jibba and 2 were of the same opinion.
Probably. I wish that they get the grass back on the air. They haven't aired. Well, they had election.
Yeah, but I don't.
But they
count
had been gone for like 2 months before that.
Yeah, I don't count the election stuff. But anyways, so now that you saw the viral video for Pacific Rim, what do you think?
Interesting.
Okay.
I wish we could see more of the what I'm assuming was a lobster by the looks of the foot.
Well, it's some sort of giant lizard crustacean creature, but that is...
Yeah, crustacean was what I was thinking of.
Yeah, well, and that's kind of correct. The base of the movie ends, and it's from a great director. I love this director, Guillermo del Toro, the guy who did Hellboy.
Oh!
Yeah, he's directing it. And the movie is not actually about giant monsters. It is actually about a giant robot that, mankind has built to fight giant monsters. Yes, he has gone the Godzilla route of movie making.
Huh.
And so and that's the basis of the movie is giant monsters start crawling out of the woodwork, start wrecking, the Earth and the human race. So the human race gets together, builds a giant robot. And when I say giant robot, there's like the poster for it shows like some dude standing on the shoulder of it, and he's not even like 1/8 the size of the head of it. So they actually went giant robot. It's like, yes. And from what Guillermo del Toro has said has kind of piqued my interest. Basically, he said that they're taking the movie in a in the the kaiju, the giant monster battle kind of way. You'll see it fight, and it'll do this and that. But they're gonna try to keep it as close to reality as they can, which is gonna be real interesting because he actually talked about he was talking with a physics major or a physicist rather about how could a giant robot like that, if it could actually be constructed and if it could actually stand up and be bipedal, how it would function, what it would do, stuff like that, and how it would, create like 18-foot, holes and foot size, giant, footsteps in the earth and crap like that. So they actually went he's going actually as realistic as he can for a giant robot fighting giant monsters movie.
Right.
Which I find kind of cool. On one hand, because it's just like the physics nerd in me is like, yeah! And the giant monster nerd in me is going, yeah! And then there's the third part of me going, crap, they're putting reality into a giant monster movie. Crap! Because that's the problem is sometimes when you apply reality to a fantastical world, it doesn't exactly communicate quite right. It can kind of go kablooey.
Well, it can if they try to make it too realistic.
Yeah, And
But if they just bring enough, it's kind of like my favorite reality thing like this is Without Warning.
yeah,
It was real, and I mean, when they aired that, there were no commercials.
no,
It was thing after thing after thing, and they shot it. And I don't know, maybe I'm the only retard who sees this. The difference between film and video. Film is what movies are.
yeah,
Video is what news, operas, that thing are. If you look at the two back to back, there is a distinct difference in nature.
yeah,
Without Warning was shot in video, so it did look like a newscast.
well, yeah, well, I mean, even as going as far as Cloverfield, you know, the shaky cam documentary kind of
Right.
first person view, that was shot as not shot as a movie, that was film, or whatever you're saying, yeah. It's the same concept. It's the found documentary kind of thing, which actually is a great and fantastic way to shoot some movies. And sometimes it can be real crap.
It depends. Well, see, the thing is when they start taking the reality out of the image
Yeah,
and trying to put it more into the script.
yeah,
You could, and with honors or Without Warning proved it. You can do a lot just by changing how people are perceiving the film.
yeah,
Make it look like a newscast. No commercials, no breaks. It is just, it ran like an emergency cast
yeah,
from start to finish.
yeah,
Aside from 15 seconds, you were hooked. The only thing that saved my ass was John Delancey was one of the reporters. I knew nobody else there until I saw him. Then I was okay. Because okay, I know that person. Because they showed him and they called him by a different name. It's like, okay, I know what's going on now. But how many people called? Oh my God, somebody's age in Second Life is 666.
Back on topic.
Sorry, I just saw that. But there are a lot of people. I'm sure if you want David Letterman and quite a few other people, it was the 90s version of the War of the Worlds. People were panicking.
Yeah,
And all they had to do was just change the film.
yeah,
Change it from film to video, and oh my God, everybody believes it. If they can do that with this one and just keep it in that vein, just keep reality on the edge.
yeah,
It's like, here it is in this universe, this is real time.
yeah.
It's when they go more than that they really are blowing it.
Yeah. I'm well, and I think it's honestly a perfect time, especially in Japan now, for Guillermo del Toro to release that movie because it comes out next year. Let me double check that date real quick. Because what's going on there is they're getting ready to come out because we've got Godzilla coming out, the American Godzilla coming out later next year, early 2014. Yeah, July 12th, 2013 for Pacific Rim. Oh hey, there's even a plot to it. Okay, cool.
Well, I hope so.
No, the last time I checked the page, there was no plot posted. Now there's actually like a plot posted. When legions of monstrous creatures known as kaiju, yes, thank you, Gilmore, start rising from the sea, a war begins that takes millions of lives and consumes humanity's resources for years on end. To combat the giant kaiju, ouch, that's kind of redundant, a special type of weapon is devised, massive robots called Jaegers. I'll get to that joke here in a minute, which are controlled simultaneously by two pilots whose minds are locked in a world bridge. But even the Jaegers prove nearly defenseless in the face of relentless kaiju. On the verge of defeat, the forces defending mankind have no choice but to turn to two unlikely heroes. I watched a former pilot, played by Charlie Hunnam. I have no idea who the hell that is. An untested trainee, Rinko Kikuchi, who I have no idea who the hell that is, who are teamed to drive a legendary but seemingly obsolete Jaeger from the past. Together they stand as mankind's last hope against the mounting apocalypse. It does actually have Idris Elba in it, which is kind of fantastic. And Ron Perlman is in it playing Hannibal Cho.
Oh, I want to see it already.
Ron Perlman, that's enough reason to see a movie. It's like,
Yeah, and anybody who's a doubter, you suck.
yeah.
Ron Perlman he's not the prettiest picture in the drawer, but
God, no.
he does an amazingly good job.
Yeah.
And it can be a shit script, but he is one of those characters, he's one of those actors who will put his all into the script to make a bad script a good script.
Yeah.
So it's worth seeing him if you can.
Okay, I will give this to Guillermo del Toro. He has actually tapped a Japanese actress who is kind of famous in Japan for for being in Japanese kind of kaiju movies and whatnot. She was in an American movie with Keanu Reeves, but no one gives a crap about Keanu Reeves. But yeah.
Not even Keanu at this point.
Yeah. But it's got Ron Perlman. It's got right there. That is how you tap geeks like us. It's like, boom, Ron Perlman, we're there. Even if he dies like 20 minutes into the film.
Ron really had a problem because I'm one of the old geeks who watched Beauty and the Beast when it debuted.
Yeah.
Which knows how old I am. But Ron was good looking in that because of the makeup.
Actually,
then the makeup came off.
He's yeah. But
and he had trouble for a while, but then he found his niche as
he's the
like Hellboy, Blade 2, where he's not a good-looking man, but he's a very dependable.
Exactly. I look at Ron Perlman, and some people would say this is kind of heresy. I look at Ron Perlman, and I see the modern-day Boris Karloff.
Yeah?
He is. He is the modern-day Boris Karloff. And
not like Boris was, but Boris was a character actor.
Yeah.
That's what Ron Perlman is. Ron Perlman is a character actor. It's just unlike Patrick Troughton, character actor.
Yeah.
And the thing with Patrick was, aside from one time, and that was in the original Jason and the Argonauts.
Oh, God.
From that, and if you watch that, you know who he is. You've seen it.
Yeah.
Until I heard him yelling, I didn't know who he was, because the makeup was good.
Yeah.
You watch Doctor Who, you watch The Omen, you watch other things. It's him. It's Christopher Walken. Another good character actor.
Yeah.
But he looks Christopher Walken. Same with Ron Perlman. It's Ron Perlman. Best character actor is Actor X playing Actor X in this way.
Yeah. It's
what Ron Perlman does.
I think a good way to put it is
Christopher Walken and Boris Karloff all just put themselves into the role. So it's them playing dress up for the most part. All that's is what they look like.
Yeah, and but we seem to get on this tangent a lot. We'll sit here and talk about great actors, but this is why we view them as production. But back to Pacific Rim and whatnot. What we were talking about before we went on this whole tangent about Ron Perlman. Even without Ron Perlman, I'd go see the movie because I'm a kaiju monster battle kind of thing.
I'm gonna see some kaiju girls, then I'll go.
Kaiju girls.
Who was that? Ghastly. Ghastly's Ghastly webcomic. He had a whole section of art dedicated to kaiju girls.
Yeah. And if Toei company was if anyone from Toei is listening to this in Japan, or anyone who's connected to them, for the love of God, have them call up Guillermo del Toro and have just Mothra appear in the final scene. I would kill to see that. It's like Mothra.
Oh. You know what? Since we're going German, you know what? And this is a Helsing thing. I would love to see somebody bring in the Harkonnen. It's just like, okay, before we bring out the big robot, here's the biggest bit of artillery. Watch some poor red shirt schmuck have it over his shoulder, blowing back 500 yards. It's like, okay, that didn't work. Bring in the giant robot. That would be such an epic moment.
Just like, oh,
this
yeah.
red shirt guy blow himself from one side of the ice screen of the IMAX screen cleared to the other and into the distance. Like, wow.
No, it walks out in this, partial, kind of Iron Man-like suit, like a predecessor to the giant mechas. It walks out, he's got all these armaments, these giant chain guns and whatnot. Walks out, plants the stands to help, stabilize it. 2 more shoot out, like 2 chains shoot out to anchor him down further. Starts to rev it up. One shot gets off and he goes flying.
Now that's some recoil.
Like, well.
And then now this is taking the joke too far, but have some field goal sign as they watch him go by.
No,
that'd be great. We need to make a comic of that.
Oh, that's horrible. It's beautiful but horrible. Beautiful but horrible. That's pretty much the story of our lives right there.
That's the story of every episode.
Try not to laugh too hard, but oh god.
No, we don't need to break. What? No, that wasn't last week. That was the week before.
Yeah.
Were you laughing so hard that
we completely just broke down.
That was funny, actually.
So we'll keep an eye out for a Pacific Rim, and I'm trying to avoid making a dirty Sanchez joke.
For some reason, I was thinking, and maybe this but wasn't this a TV show?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Look that up. I'm almost certain there was a show called Pacific. It was kind of like a Miami Vice thing.
Great, now I have to look at crap.
That's what I'm doing. Don't worry about it.
Anyways, for our last little quick jaunt into the realm of nerdery and movies, because obviously we're not going to get in your comics today.
Yes, it's actually on TV.
Oh wow, good lord. For our final bit of kind of geek news that excites us and thrills us deep down to our nerd bones, took everything but our nerd bones to the whole planet. Anyways, quick coding. That's all, folks. Quick quoting McCoy. Damn it. There we go. I'm better. Anyways, so it seems the green light has been kind of lit for Tron 3.
Yeah. According to what I read on the Mary Sue, they had, it's because there's been some jiggling around in upper management.
Yeah.
And the person who's in charge right now is apparently quite a fan and has pushed it. Well, they kind of left that open.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be argued that it's open in the original, but they really left it open in this one.
Yeah.
So it would be really neat to see what they're able to do.
Yeah. Let's see here. The news, and this is just, it's not that big of a news blurb, but it's a news blurb. The sequel to the 2010 reboot, Tron Legacy. It wasn't really a reboot, you schmucks. It was a sequel.
No, it was a sequel.
Yeah.
It was in every way a sequel.
But they're calling Tron Legacy a reboot.
Yeah, it's not. Well, no. That's because they're idiots.
Yeah. Called Tron 3 in some quarters, is moving a step forward with Disney negotiations to hire Jesse Wigato to pen the latest draft of the script. Joseph Kosinski, who directed Legacy, is attached to Home this installment, which is being developed with a renewed purpose under Alan Horn, who took the reins of Disney Studios in June. Right. Obviously, this is the man who bought up. This is actually a genius time, because guess what? They just bought up Star Wars, so
which means they would be able to use Industrial Lights and Magic, and they are an amazing amazing special effects company.
Yeah, both CGI
Although,
and practical.
in their defense, Tron Legacy had some kick-ass effects.
Oh god, yeah.
You wouldn't
even
need
in 2D.
ILM if you just went with the same. Well, maybe it was ILM that did it,
Oh, maybe.
but if it wasn't ILM, no offense to ILM, I would not even think twice of just going with the same company because they did a very good job on it.
If it wasn't ILM, they could actually tap ILM for practical effects, for physical effects, stuff like that. A few more of those, because the movie was very heavy on CGI and CGI background, so they could tap them for more practical effects, which could help offset some of the complaints
and
that were
we're
about.
looking at it in the fact that it involved the grid.
Yeah.
In some way, it would have to.
Yeah.
But I don't think that would be. I think it would be kind of like what the new Star Trek is. It's we've had our big mission in outer space. Now we're coming down. We're dealing with something completely different.
Yeah.
The grid would be there because the grid still exists.
Yeah.
But I don't think that would be the whole point. I think it would come in and out, but I don't think that would be the whole focus.
Yeah, it seems with Tron 3, as it's being tentatively called, is Disney is going to kind of go for broke. Because Tron Legacy had a lukewarm performance when it opened in December of 2010, but it grossed over $400 million worldwide, which is good enough to spark an interest in prolonging the franchise. A lot of the plot details are being kept very under wraps. But David DiGillo, who wrote an earlier draft of the script, and Justin Springer, a co-producer on Legacy, is producing Tron 3. So we're gonna keep that up. We're gonna keep an eyeball up on that. Something fierce, especially since they hinted so hardcore about Cillian Murphy reprising his role as Edward Dillinger. We may see Dillinger come back.
I like Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
I would like to see that.
There's a couple questions about whether or not Jeff Bridges will return. Will they tap the original Tron director Steven Weisberger? And for the love of God, please can Daft Punk make the soundtrack again?
That was amazing.
That I've not gotten tired of that soundtrack yet, and this is 2 years
People
later.
who don't think that soundtrack was good can kiss off.
Exactly.
That was amazing. Well, you and I both were thinking that.
Yeah, I was just like, oh.
And then when
beautiful.
Idiot went through and remixed it, it's like,
what a dick.
what?
Yeah.
What? No, don't do that. It was fine the way it was.
Yeah. What a dick. That's all I have to say. Oh, crap.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
hit the wrong
basically.
button. Whoops. I just accidentally skipped the music back. Whoopsie. My bad.
Well, did we talk about Batgirl then too here quick, or? Because really the only thing we can say is that DC Comics is being a douche.
Well, but that's been kind of our theme for like the last 2 years, especially since the beginning of the new 52. They've really been kind of douchey, and they've really been cracking down hard on the girl characters, and doing weird crap with them left and right.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are now kind of calling him out on it. It's because what was it? There was something about Batgirl, which is selling the best of any of the female leads, according to the sales charts, and receiving many accolades. And the fact that it's sold as well, if not better, than Nightwing, Red Robin, and Red Hood, the unholy trinity of former boy Robins. DC canned Gail Simone's Batgirl book by email.
Yeah, that's shitty. Yeah. I don't care. That is.
Yeah.
You don't do that to somebody who's especially one of your people.
Yeah, when they're one of your best writers and making one of your best-selling books right now, I really do wonder what the hell is going on with DC right now. I think DC should hire Stan Lee for about 10 months and let him go to town, and we'll see what happens then. It's like, Stan, you don't...
DC is the good old boys club.
Kind of, but...
And they do not like women, especially when they do well. Well, this on top of the fact that Kim, the lady who ran Vertigo, has stepped down.
Yeah, there's that too. We'll probably actually.
So they've lost 2 huge female
Yeah. We'll probably
businesses there.
We'll probably actually pick this up next week. But right now, though, we do
Yeah.
have to cut the show and we have to go and whatnot. So, with that in mind, thank you for once again tuning into another Madcap episode of Finite Exposure. Stay tuned next for the Big Dumb Fun Show. Afterwards is Give Me a Break Radio with Bob Pizzazz. And then later on to close out the night is Rock On Radio. Stay tuned later on this week for Terror Challenged Radio, Movies That Hate You, Sam and Dan Nation, Geek Juice, Another Damn Talk Show, Fangirl Magazine Radio, The Mike Ghost Getter Show, Night Watch Radio, and many, many more. You can find archives of this episode and the other great shows on Jackalope Radio on jackalope.radio.com. Head on over, check it out. You can find archives of our show and previous episodes of ours going way back on our own site of finiteexposure.com. So head on over there and Google. You can find Jackalope Radio on Facebook by typing keyword search Jackalope Radio. You can find us on Facebook by typing keyword search Finite Exposure. You can follow us on Twitter by typing in Finite Exposure with capital E, capital F. You can email us at finiteexposure@gmail.com. And I think that pretty much does it for this week. Any last words?
No.
Okay.
I can't think of anything safe to say, so no.
Okay, well, on that note, goodbye, folks.